So show them clearly that there are measures in place of safety to run after you. You perform. So in that sense, they are nourished, they are understanding that I'm here to protect organizations, not to break into organizations, because there will be high accountability. Yeah, if you bring them to what is fine. Yeah, sorry. The other one, really. Then, yeah, yeah, uh, starting with one level, I want to show you in the spirit of my team and the people I lead, we always tend to take ourselves as serious forever. This field you're choosing to get into is one of the most volatile fields you can have. That's what I was saying. I wish I would have learned some of the things before I got into cybersecurity. Maybe I might have get what to software engineering out there, my life might be much easier. But the sector you're getting into very volatile because tech changes every day, right? That volatility brings a lot of vulnerability, a lot of mistrust. As a cybersecurity engineer, you are asked to know almost every bit of tech, the hardware, the AI, the web application, the network, the malware analysis. Ideally, again, you can choose an area you can specialize on, but at least have some basics of each and every field. And the idea that I have knowledge, but I want opportunities, uh, it's great. Of course, we have those when we want to hire, we always, of course, want anyone that has someone already has the knowledge. But I want to assure you, there is no time where we feel that you are there yet. You don't need to learn more. What I'm saying to like, the other company, those people who do, for those who are test this, but they have no knowledge. And the others who are this, and those who are human. So my question, those who are those are intermediate, who are advanced, but it's okay. You can give them training when they have already. For junior uh, security engineers, interns, or then sometimes even senior engineers. So depending on the opportunity that arises, it's see where it fits in. But another question from a lady.
Where the segment chemicals require to produce things, and the work and
The good news is, unfortunately, we just wrote back our academic on our website to protest some building involvement, but it will be free. It will be free, and it's there for just bring in people who are interested to get into the field. Now, on the Cyber Hub, if you maybe were asking on the Cyber Hub, that's on the government side, but you should send an email to academy ncsa.gov that they might give you a lot of information on the call to be in and the selection procedure, etc. Academy ncsa.gov. But for us, it's free. Free, we're giving back. Thank you for that. I want to ask you about the letter. Usually, the letter is that website. We found that there are many crimes related to social and religious protocol. I'd like to ask you the letter you contribute just one. For instance, some of them, the letters are being checked by other teams, who do have other online. Therefore, may you know how to confront that letter, not just letters. Efforts to combat cyber threats is, you see, the way and personally, the way I see cyber security, you always see a human at the weakest state, but also humans can be greatest assets when trained, when equipped with right skills, they can be corporate greatest assets, country's greatest assets. Like what my brother is doing with this competition is trying to equip you with skills to aid you to work with companies, governments, etc. So our first approach to cyber threats, the people themselves. Uh, are they trained? Are they skilled? Are they actually even aware? Because well, you know about that because maybe you are in cybersecurity, right? You know about those threats because you're in this sector, but maybe some other people don't even know, right? They don't know that these threats are out there. You're already asking about measures, but some people don't even know that it exists. Um, so our first approach is always having people aware of these threats, those who are dealing with response and you know engineering, are they equipped with right skills? We all go to school. Unfortunately, I don't know if it has changed, but in my time, cybersecurity was being taught on the blackboard. You know, they get chalk and they teach you cybersecurity. Or now, not maybe now it's a marker and a smart, I don't know. But still, the reality of knowledge is not a matter of your marker or top being used. System are being compromised. You know, countries are being put on their knees because they can't, you know, um, guard their data sovereignty is just everywhere. People are just going into ChatGPT giving everything to it. You know? So we need people who can really get Africa to the table and sit with developed countries on equal terms. Because we have everything. We have the structure. You know, you could be together if you work for their company because you're skilled. You have the credentials, just like the other person in Sweden or UK. Uh, so to answer your question again, for us, the approach is always the people, processes, technology. That's why for your question, it is cyberspace it is environment. So like now like us as students, in cybersecurity understanding, yeah, it's more practical. So I'm imagining the student goes and penetrates someone's system, that's required. So how would you advise as a student when you're learning, you don't wait to something? Because if cybersecurity is quite, you have to do it. It's good. Like, creativity someone says, that's the correct. Oh, yeah, my always advice for people who are learning is to be curious, absolutely, but curious in your own environment. Okay. So fortunately now we're blessed with good computers that run sometimes some processors, have storage, uh, build your own lab environment, right? And be ruthless with it. Okay. But implying um, it's an environment you have in your profession, right? And we have even created platforms, that I don't know, the name sounds very familiar. The moment if they can see you have. Okay, so I have the database one, and healthcare area, and I would like to interested in analysis for cybersecurity. I'm asking myself, when it actually to analysis starts your company, like months or period, do we need to apply for it, or just we can simply contact you? Just I wanted to know the way we may use. Thank you. Unfortunately, I didn't come with any slides, but uh, the, when we release any of opportunities and to put it out there on our socials, you can follow it. That's where most people communicate when we want to, when we have open opportunity. Um, the other could maybe for just give me good night because we are now, I know we want to push something on our website for also specifically that use case where people can simply just apply and we have them in our database. When something comes out, we know who wants to reach. Okay. So I'll be closing from here, but and again, I want to thank you for your choice you've made joining this field. It's going to be there's a lot of adventure in cybersecurity. It never gets boring. Never gets boring. So keep up the spirit, learn more, keep learning, stay curious. Okay, so don't get to a point where you feel I have all the certifications now. I don't need to learn more about how tech is evolved. So thank you so much.
With the way Mr. Joel has answered all the questions, that was more than enough. Please make it clear. Thank you, Mr. Joel, who's still of technology, to tech hub. So everything has a journey, and we're going to hear from Mr. John and Mr. Papatuli again. They're going to take us through the highlights.
Project engineered 3 years ago. 1 year was for planning, and we had the first event last year, and that was held in Lagos, Nigeria. And that was more of a CTF style hackathon. And in that hackathon, we had the following guys. Hold on. So these were the winners. 2024. It was a 2-day event where people tried challenge. How many people play CTS here? Okay. How many of you play? How many people know about CTS? Okay. And this is a very technical skill. So it's all about understanding the computer system, the challenges, being able to, in a good way, ethically hack. Because when you say hack, from an African perspective, you're a bad guy. But really, it's not about being bad. It's about knowing the systems out there that is currently being used in our. But the CTF within
So just look at it as you are in a room where you're trying to figure out where something is being put. That is the first way to think about it now. But now you're competing for when you catch that like that way, when you get the when you solve the puzzle that when you can catch it. So that's it. And to quickly maybe as mentioned a bit of what I said, this vision, I really like Joel, thanks a lot for the way you lay it. Because it's one thing to just wait for people to come and resolve our problem. It's another thing to actually see it and count ourselves worthy enough to be able to solve our own problem. And for the question that you asked, very fantastic question. That's one of the things that we had in mind when we launched the platform. How can people engage without being jailed, right? Without being student. And how can we also make it free? It's not like we think that we have to get it.
And the most important thing, what we've done with the Afrihackbox platform is unify ethical action. So at the end of the day, the capture the flag is a way to unify ethical action. So if you see a website, you say, okay, what's wrong with this website? Is it using low site code? Okay, how do you prove they are using low site? So you unify it and you get points. So that's what the CTF is really about, providing challenges and you are trying to get real world security vulnerability. And by that, get points and get meaningful. So when we registered, we had over 700 people. That was last year. And out of the 700, we engaged in competition 546. Out of the 546, only 107 actually knew how to play CTS. So what you can see there is that many people are interested, but not many people know how to actually play. But when we played, out of the 107, they were the top 3 winners. And the winner again, was from Nigeria, but actually the one that represents Nigeria when it comes to international CTF. So he just went to Tokyo for 2 weeks ago for an event in Tokyo. So again, we never knew about him until after the event.
And we actually trying to make sure that it's not Nigeria.
Exactly. This is a preview of the fact. Actually, on Saturday, what we start in the community for ethical hackers all around the world come online to actually show people how to solve challenges. So this is how you see Africans teaching Africans how to play. So people who've never played before, there are videos there that will show you, okay, this is how you solve this challenge. Watch it just like YouTube, learn how to play. Now go to the platform and play it. So, and that's what we're trying to drive. Community for Africans and Africans.
I think adding on to that, maybe you might be wondering, like Nigeria been talking about we have the blogs or try having other different technologies or platforms that are you have to pay something. There is a tier for free, but this one is totally free. But then we need to discuss. We need to discuss if it's still going to be free from next year, because for the past 2 years, we can actually go register, get to work. Actually, but that's something that we need to.
And so what's led? But maybe I'll give this to you to go through the timeline so people are aware of what led to 2025 and why we decided to go this route from a hackathon perspective.
Yeah. So I think we after we concluded last year this year, which was one of the challenges. So we decided to go come back, then design institution that gets out for Africa and no something that the cheap SME product, right? Because most of all security appliances are for high-end security, and then you will probably know that you will have to spend a lot of money to be able to get resistant secure. So we threw out the challenge out there. And yeah, we had people coming to register for it. Yeah, there's the timeline. So we ideated August, then we had people to start registering. And that we have like quite a number of people that register. We have over 200 and across. So Joe was asking me, was there any Rwanda? Yeah.
Fortunately, no.
But we
It
have
was open. It was open to other. And just to add, to the solution will oriented like around cybersecurity and AI. So, but that's the in thing now. But it was to provide a solution around cybersecurity, AI, especially for an African, for the African market. So we didn't want anything to pass. Just look at Africa, what would benefit Africa as of today, and especially that is low cost, not low cost, low rate, and affordable within the African content.
not compromising quality.
Exactly.
Uh,
So, like Paul was saying, we had top judges. Like we always want to make sure everything we do, we focus on integrity and fairness, so that it doesn't seem like we are favoring anybody that applied or submitted their project. So we got 7 judges, and 3 were from we 3, myself, Paul, and Yemi were the technical lead. So we reviewed all projects technically. So there were 11 projects that were submitted. And out of the 11, we brought it down to 6. And then the business thing. Now, which was random people, not really random, like high profile people that actually assess all the solutions. So these are all the judges, and as you can see, myself or in there. So total of 10. So we'll go through their profile so you can just see who is. So we have chief operating officer of Trust, high profile and CFO former CFO.
Yeah, she used to be a CFO for the transition. So yeah, coming to so yeah, all of everything these days is doing, as you can see, business leader and very much technical person. And understand how business and IT should actually work.
And Lamin Dobo is Bansiba is the CEO of and co-founder of Bansiba. Bansiba invests in startup organizations. So if you have a business that is started and you need finance, you need things like that, he's the man to actually go to. So it was very helpful in encouraging this project and solution.
Yeah, can you tell me that? Okay. It looks very young. That was me most before.
Okay. This Dr. Musa, the lecturer from Open University, is one of the biggest open universities in Africa, and he supported the program as well because we engage with students like yourself, do solutions, and you guys be one of the winners who's also a student as well. So you guys will be okay. And this is I don't know who this is, but that's
Very young.
that's for John.
Money. Yeah, Esther Omon, she's also like assistant lecturer. Very helpful. Yeah, I can go with Lion. Lion is yeah, unfortunately he couldn't make it today to give the site in Canada and the partner to first particular. So very technical knowledgeable.
Um, Adrian Rugos is actually the CEO of the collaborative code. He has 20 years experience, so he's also one of the judges that are vetted from a business perspective, but also putting on his technical hat to all the people that provided solutions for the hackathon.
Yeah, do today this is a guy that brought in the expert when it comes to tech solution, right? And I think as time progresses, we get to the solution, and you know that the solution has potential of becoming something that might be able to do. So it was very nice to have you working with us to take a look at the solution.
And after we did all the judging and after we did all the assessment, we had top 60, which you can see. Aegis AI, who will present today. We had Hook, we had Any Fishing, Pigani, Cyber Protect, and Afri. Yeah, if you go to the website, secure.afrihackbox.com, you see the result. We also put it there. You see the result and all the projects that he submitted. The final winner, like I said, is just from the system itself. That's Aegis AI.
So yeah, I think it's also very important for myself. Rightly said. And I was discussing this with you. I think we can relax. Right? So we're like, why is it that always when we have put some kind of application out, we have loads of from Nigeria, right? So we're talking it would be nice for East Africans to visit Africa, right? And but at the same time, we do not want to compromise integrity, right? But at the end of the day, leadership. So what we did in that case, if you look at judges, you can see that they are always pro. So we have Angela, who is actually based here, and she's from Kenya, and we have people from Sweden, we have who is Pantapa. Yeah, so we try to have a proper representation. So that we are able to, we try as much as possible to divide judges into different quota, measuring different things. We also have like technical analysis, technical assessment. As in, because we're actually, I'm like, no, 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 I don't believe this code is good enough. I believe this framework is the right one. So we really like, and then we give it out to the judges to make it fun. So I'm believing that by the next one, we will have more representation from Rwanda, because I really, really love this country. This is like my fourth time.
That is the one that convinced us to come to Rwanda. Normally we go to Nigeria, we were planning on going to Ghana. I was like, no, 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 let's go to Rwanda. Let's go. Like, guys. So, so yeah. Timing-wise, is to you sure? Okay. So thank you for listening to us, and you'll hear more from us. Thank you very much.
I noticed some people haven't given me a really good look from this morning. Is it the breakfast issue still? Yeah, maybe we have the same problem. I have that problem. So we're going to take a quick short break and please come back with smiling faces because all the problems we have are going to be solved. There are snacks and coffee out there. Let's take 10 to 15 minutes and then we'll be back. Come back with the energy. No one nowadays with no energy, right?
And right?
10:35. It's now 10.
So we have refreshments out there, so you know, tea, coffee, anything else you have outside of that on you. Everything is out there. Let's go out. And when you come back, we'll listen to the winner or the Afrihackbox and you'll be able to ask the question. Because it's a product that's like, it's most people don't like. And what we're trying to do is do like a browsing because right now, oh, I'm gonna cut it. kubona bimeze neza n'abantu niba n'uwase n'abantu babo patiri umuntu wase n'abantu babo n'imana ntabwo ujya muri koperative mbere n'amatungo kuyumva amutende ari umuntu ariko bakasana ngo wabo ntabwo bemereye mbere mbere yo kugira ngo bitako ya ngo no mu masinga bajya muri mbonike muri kudogo ariko tegereza ikibazo n'ibindi kibazo mbere ko cyera dire de ko de mustara uri kwiruka iyi telefone ishyiramo umuriro mbona mfite nyinshi ushobora kubona ibintu ukabona fute ariko iyo uzi kubi bibaho barabitewe uramubwira ngo icyatsi ijana na gatanu akoresha makumyabiri na kane nasanze tunaziranye ntabwo muraziranye nawe si bo muziranye sinzi ahantu muza tuziranye hariho barakuzi ngeze kumukubwira ngo barakuzi nyine tuziranye kwa muramwa wacu biriya karibu
Okay. So, that's maybe
Neke wayigisha abashidahagaze kuri very hands nakugaga birozi mu kagiye kuchangi nanye nasiba nawo
Okay, welcome back. We have some snacks now. So, it's coming now that we have a short break in some snacks and coffee home. I hope I don't get too repeated. We're going to exercise with everyone, and then we're going to welcome Miss Daisy, who's going to take us through the slide demonstration and technical presentation and business tips. So before we do that, I'm going to kindly request everyone to stand up. So we just a minute. No, not of us together. So I think most people know places around here. And this exercise we're going to do is going to show how much you know Kigali or you know places around here. And for people who don't know Kigali that well, there's chance. If you participate in this again, I hope you'll show us that you know the city now. So we're going to clap hands and according to how far the rain is coming to where we are now. We're in, let's call it Mumwiti, and I'm going to use all the cameras on it. So let's say the rain is in Musan. Oh, that's too much for the rain that's coming here. It's coming from very fast. Let's start slow, and as it gets here, we clap louder. You get that now? Okay, let's go. The rain is in Mustante. Coming, the rain is in Mulinto. The rain is in Nyogogo. The rain is in Molongi. Oh, zero kids. Mr. David, the floor is yours.
One million. So I was with the rural community, and because of that, I had first-hand experience of a lot of problems that are faced in rural community. So I was excited when I had the opportunity to participate in this hackathon that gave me the opportunity to see a problem, to, to build a solution to solve a problem for people in rural community. Now today I'll be walking you through with David and AI. And we are fortunate to celebrate hackathon organized by Afrihackbox. Consider Mr. Bob. So Mr. Bob was the chief collector for a local cooperative of farmers in his community. So what he does is collect savings from a lot of farmers and he keeps on their behalf. So because many of them are low literacy users, they don't use um fintech solutions that much, so they need something to keep their savings. And Mr. Bob was the person for that. One evening, Mr. Bob received a message, and the message looked like it came from his bank. It said, bank has been restricted to providing lots of money. So you will need to send his critical bank details to verify and unblock his account. Now, Mr. Bob did not recognize this kind of message. Message is what we call phishing and specifically phishing. Mr. Bob did not recognize this kind of message, so he was new to this because security was not his first line of interest. Now, Mr. Bob, being naive, he responded to the message, he fell for the trick, he sent his critical bank details, and just like that, he lost the fortune of a whole village. Now, that's so tragic. But we will think Mr. Bob is alone. This is the reality of mobile money users in Africa. Many people whose security are not their first line of interest, people that deal with all other kind of things and are not interested in security. They do not know so much about securing themselves online and all of that. So they get
scammed in this kind of way a lot in Africa. Now, statistics show that from Nigeria where I'm from, EFCC, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, show that 160 million is lost in Nigeria alone every year. This phishing technique. Now imagine that across every country in Africa. Imagine that in Rwanda. This is a big problem. This is tragic kind of situation happening in Africa. Consider a single person, they can lose up to 2 to 3 months of their savings or their income in just one successful attack because attackers are skilled enough to wipe out all of their money at once. Now, you would think that a problem that is this big, there are solutions existing already, but that is not exactly the case. Problems that solutions that have been built for phishing and cybersecurity problems have been targeted to high, high-end and high-tech organizations and infrastructure. So existing solutions use high have been built for high-tech devices. So they use cloud service, and because of that, they rely fully on constant internet. So people like above, people like the people like the women, elderly women that are not security literate, they will not be able to use this kind of solution. Understand that because of that, they are the most vulnerable. It's paradoxical. Not expect people that basic technology, people that do not use tech devices, high tech devices, have what it takes to protect themselves. Because of this, they are targeted and they are mostly vulnerable to this kind of attack. Now, we also understand that hackers are getting a duty, they are getting more intelligence. Before a scammer tries to scam someone that does not understand English, but because the attack came in English, the scammer is not successful because the person the attack does not understand what English is talking about in the first place to even respond. But now scammers are getting intelligent. Use local language, your local cultural context. Now they are scamming techniques to ensure that you fall victim of this kind of scam. And existing solutions are not ready built with this kind of local context. They are not ready built this kind of local languages. So this is a huge problem in Africa. Now we decided that enough is enough. We need something like Africans to solve this problem. So we built Aegis. It's a real-time phishing detection that is capable of working on this kind of low-tech devices. And it also supports their cultural context, their local cultural context, and it understands several local languages. So now if the attack comes in English, you are covered. If it comes in French, you are covered. If it comes in your local language, you are covered because the solution now caters for this kind of attacks. And the most interesting part is it works completely offline. We also made it easy to use because this kind of people, they are not tech is not their first point of interest. Tech is not their first go-to profession, so they do not know so much about it. If we expect them to understand a lot of technical details to operate the app, then we are just joking. So we build something easy to use for them and sit silently on their device and test them. That's the idea behind AI. Now, how does it work? Think of Aegis AI as having two bodyguards. Now, the first one is a lightweight sentry model that resides on the phone. Now, what this does is every message coming into the phone, SMS message, WhatsApp, Gmail, and every other messaging app. These kind of messages are captured and they run through the first bodyguard. The first bodyguard analyzes these messages and it gives a feedback. So what it does is it captures the message he analyzes it to see if it's a phishing message or not, and then it it pops up just it pops up on the user's phone to show that this message is a phishing message. But now we understand that because a device is a low-tech device and also it's a lightweight AI that we have adapted. So we understand that for that kind of lightweight AI, it could be prone to stuff like false positive, false negatives. So we need something more solid to back it up. That is where the second bodyguard comes in. We have the Oracle model. It's a powerful AI model that we have also adapted and it lives on the cloud. Now, what it does is it's a support for the local model. Whenever the local model receives any message and it is a bit ambiguous, it does not understand whether it is phishing or not, it simply passes the message to the powerful model. It conducts the model and the model runs a deeper check for better context and it responds with a more definitive response. So in that case, the user is secured in real time and very accurate. Now, you might wonder that how does the app communicate, the app on the phone communicate with our cloud model if the app runs completely offline. Now, the beauty is we designed a proprietary communications model that uses SMS shortcode transmission to communicate from the local model to the Oracle online model. So think of it like sending a text message to someone. Of course, you do not need internet for a text message. So think of it in that format. But in this case, it is automated by our app and by the SMS WhisperNet. So we implement usage from getting shortcode from companies like Twilio to automate the stuff. Now, this is how the app communicates. Let's see how it works. So this is the app in action. Once the user downloads and installs the app, they need to grant necessary permissions. These permissions will allow to give us the privacy we need to need to analyze their messages, and then after that, they select the language that they prefer to interact with the app. Now, after that, that's all they need to do. The app takes over. You can see every message coming in is analyzed by the app, and this message is a phishing message, so it pops up and it notifies the user that this is a phishing message. It notifies the user. Now, like I said before, there are some messages that the local model is not sure whether it's phishing or not. In that case, it consults the Oracle using the WhisperNet developed. So it transmits it, and the backend analyzes it further and then it responds. For this particular message, it was eventually not a phishing message, so nothing happens. User leaves on. For the next message you receive, the user will receive. It is a phishing message, but it is not sure. So the communication process is activated again. It transmits it to the backend cloud model, and then the backend responds in the same light, and then the user is alerted. So that's how it works. Easy, the user don't need to do anything. They just get alerted when they receive any phishing SMS. And this is how Aegis AI works, built to solve the critical problem Africans are facing in regard to securing themselves online. You understand that users do not need to worry about, oh, a scam message is coming in. Will I fall victim? Will I be like Bob? Will I be like Alice that have lost a lot of money to all of this kind of attacks? Now, meet the fantastic four that has made this possible. Myself, I am David. I am the security analyst. I deal with ensuring that the app is secure and the security of who they are securing is actually solid. Meet Ugo, the mobile dev engineer, is in charge of building the application from scratch. Meet Daniel, the machine learning engineer, is in charge of adapting and fine-tuning the AI models specifically for our use. This facility is also a software engineer, is in charge of running every other core details of the app. Now, if you want to get more information about this one, you can check out our website. You can scan the QR code to do that. You can also message us for more inquiry. Thank you. So yeah, if you have any question for me, you can feel free to ask now. Who are not using smartphone, right? So is that a question? Any more question? Okay, thank you for that. So basically, for the purpose of MCP, the first model or the first application we have built is the one that runs on very low tech smartphones. So think of any phone that is even less than 2 gig in capacity, the app can run on it, and that is for the demonstration. Now, moving on, going to the market, we would also be building a Java application that runs similarly. The smartphone application runs on React Native, so it is built for Android application, but we will also be building a Java application that can be used for low tech devices like this. So this is the first one built, but the other ones will be built definitely. Did you get that? All right.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for what you have done. You know, for what I'm doing for us, clarity and analysis. I would like us to do, when you are going to before it's complete, there's a way you design an application like that. Then there is a step where you need to tell you to pay on your own how have you solved that? Another question. How have you paid that dollar or all $4? If it is not, you tell us. If it is there, you tell us how you tell us how you have paid and how much profit.
So if I get the question right, you mean what does the user pay to use the app?
No.
Okay, that's a beautiful question. Now it's going to be very cheap, just like a slice of bread, so very affordable for everyone that needs it. Now you are asking how are they able to pay the amount they need to access the app since they don't understand stuff and they are low tech. Now, brilliant question. We have talked about that and we have also planned to implement that. The idea is that because these people are low tech users, they don't understand credit cards, ATM cards. Many of them don't understand all of that. So we built a solution specifically for them. We are implementing a payment system that is going to print their airtime directly. So everyone that use phone use airtime. So they can call, they can send messages with airtime. So we are charging them from airtime. So we have found a way to implement charging them from airtime. It will be a one-time subscription per month. So once the airtime is due for that month, it is secure for the month. So it's not say, oh, they have to pay all of these things for whatever messages going and airtime amount. Once they load airtime on their screen, we have found a way to implement and bill the airtime directly, and then with that, they are secured for the month. And also, we are implementing auto renewal. So I don't know if you are familiar with auto renewal on data subscriptions and all of that. So we are using auto renewal plan to ensure that once the subscription expires, they are not vulnerable. So once the subscription expires, if they still have credit, auto renewal is activated and they are billed again for the next month. So that is how payment is going to work.
This is for me. Second, that those things we spend now, the second that they can flow in a process of making or of designing a website. There is a step where you and the order of which that application can pay a certain money on what on Facebook. Ah, there are charges. Yeah, it is a cost. You can find that. Okay.
Are you referring to we the developers putting the app on Play Store or the users downloading the app?
But like the company working now on the posting time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that one. That when you post it, when you are posting WhatsApp.
When we go, okay, so this is how it works. The application needs to be on the application store, like the Play Store, just like I said, and we are going to figure out all of those costs, and those will come with what is called cost of production. So we will figure out putting the app on Play Store. We know what it costs. We know the process of getting the app Play Store. Also, for hosting the Oracle model, we'll figure out the best platforms we can use. We can use AWS. We can use any of that to host our app on the cloud. That's the Oracle model, not the offline application model. So the cloud Oracle model will be hosted on platforms like we can use AWS, a beautiful example to use. So hosting all of that and we figure out all of the costs it takes to run all of this kind of stuff, and we come just to ensure that we are providing a vibrant, a viable solution for Africa. All right.
So online process.
It works completely offline. So if the user has internet open for the app still runs, it does not require the user internet to run.
Does it work on? I mean, hearing that.
Yes, the AI model is trained to understand every aspect of social engineering. So if a message is coming in an attempt to fool you or to scam you or to take advantage of you, any form, as long as it's coming in form of a message or anything readable, the app understands that this is a scam message and it informs you that to be wary of such messages. Okay.
Yeah. And
So this is what works. The app is going to receive your message. It's going to see the content of the website. So it's going to see the content of the message. You know that the user is you the social engineering actor is trying to get the user to click a link. So he understands that this link is malicious. So he runs through databases of Bible links and he says that okay, this link is not what it claims to be, is not it's a misleading link and it for example, if you are gonna say google.com but someone says to you uh Google with a zero, the app will see that this is not a O, it's a zero, it understands all of those structures and it responds to that using the AI model to understand that this is phishing. So it allows people to be wary of that kind of application. So,
Like when you dividing yeah. So what you're saying, and the whole thing you can have is what I'm trying to raise. Okay, how does it that in Gaza? Because what you're saying normally, the good people, the below where is the better around the second sector. But I don't think you have the same. You know, when they how does it has country
now going into more technical things, this is how the app works. It receives messages, it receives the senders, the full metadata of the message. It receives the sender's address, it receives every context of the message, the timestamp and everything. So it puts into consideration all of those things. If a message and you know AI is smart enough for that, if a message is saying, oh, this is First Bank, but the sender's address is not anything related with what it's claiming to be, automatically the AI knows that it's not. So all of those are put in consideration when deciding if a message is start phishing or not. That's the brilliance of the AI application.
and that I want to send a message like, hey, Kevin, I have a project on content. Things are put me that you need right to at that bring the bread, review for that bread, and the green certain areas of the other. They gather how is it your AI then it's the for the trans
So thank you for that brilliant question. Now I see your line of thought. I would assume that was what he was getting us to. So now he mentioned how does it analyze without internet. Now that's the beauty of it. As long as the message has been sent to our cloud model, and that is where the cloud model comes in. The cloud model is expert enough to analyze and it runs on a very large and brilliant smart AI model. So those kind of AI have been built to actually crawl websites. It can crawl a link, it can analyze what the link is leading to, it can open short link. If you do research, you understand that AI model now can open short link, they can open link, they can read the content of a website by just giving them the link. So brilliance of AI is strong on that level. And now we are bringing it to people that don't have access to those kind of things. So what makes it work is because now we've transmitted the message from the smartphone to our AI model online through SMS. Now the message is now with us. We can do a lot of robust technical analysis on the online, and then we feed it back through offline again. So the technicalities does not work offline. If we rely solely on offline, it does not work. But because we found a way to transmit those kind of ambiguous messages, those kind of tricky messages to the online. Now the online is far more intelligent. It does way more in terms of analysis, and then it sends just a result. Now, what the online is sending to the offline is just a, a two-way thing. It sends the spam status, either 0 or 1. If it's 0, it's not phishing. If it's 1, it's phishing. So that's what the offline app needs to know to inform the user that this is tricky. For everything, every technicality works on the cloud, and we have robust, advanced AI models enough to do all of those kind of technical things. I hope you get that one.
Thank you. Mine was my friends for us, but it's out of curiosity. Um, and it's more of I would love to understand the measures that you have put in place for the confidentiality of the data you are processing. You know, in Rwanda we have phobia of cloud. When we talk about cloud, it almost undermines the whole idea of our data sovereignty. Okay? So, I really admire the story, the background of how the whole concept and idea came. But I was also watching, of course, application taking the permissions of my phone through your video. And understand the good side of the application, but it means processing my messages, which is also my personal messages. My wife is sending something visit at home with your cloud. Why, if your cloud VPS system was to get compromised, not only do they know about the phishing emails, but messages, but they also know everything about my life too. So I would love to know and understand maybe what measures do you have in place to ensure that people's data remains confidential, or maybe you um, ISO that you use to anonymize it, how cryptic, like what are you doing?
So, thank you. That's a fantastic, brilliant question. First thing is, we talked about something very transmitting them because first of all, we understand that SMS transmission is originally not secure. So we would be implementing a proprietary encryption system that is going to take care of encrypting on the app for transmitting, and that's just for like yesterday. Now, I will also admit and understand your concerns with cloud. We also talked about that. Now, what we have planned to do, first of all, the cloud model is not saving messages. No database for storage of your message. So what it does is analysis. Run analysis, it runs feedback. It runs, and like I said, we have encryption on the app. The cloud model understands encryption. The SMS is secure as that. The cloud model does not save. It runs analysis. It returns to government agencies involved in privacy would actually be interested in seeing, oh, does this true? And they have the ability to direct reference to say, okay, they are checking through what is going on, right? So we are saying the cloud model is not having any database for storage. So it is for processing the messages and giving feedback. The only place where database might be is on the user's phone, and again, your phone, your property. So in that case, it logs phishing message for the user to go back to it and say, oh, these are the messages that the AI has captured for this month, and you can see all of that. But at our end, and again, that is another thing we did. So we are not using any third party kind of AI model. We are using an open source AI where we've gotten, and then we are trained to it is solely coming to us. It is not going to any third party. So we are transparent about the whole process. It can be vetted, it can be analyzed and seen all of those things, and surely no logging of messages. And then I think one other concern raises VPN. So you you are saying the tunneling of the message can be attacked, which we pretty much admit, and that is 100% possible. So in that case, we understand that attackers are also trying to attack security. So that is a point for us as a organization to also, of course, we know cybersecurity is an unending game. We are also trying our possible best to keep up securing. The attackers are not also relenting. They are trying to break VPNs, trying to tunnel into whatever we're trying to build. So yeah, that is the risk part of the application. So we understand that attackers are trying to break VPNs, trying to get across the message and transmission, and we also understand that we need to be on toes, actually try to secure all of these things in real time. So that is a, we could say, a game for protection, blue team, red team kind of protection for the app. So we are trying to secure, we are trying to attack. That's what cybersecurity is in a nutshell.
Thank you so much. We have a panel and we have a Q&A after that. So I'm not preventing anyone from asking the question. I think we can keep those for the Q&A. Thank you so much and give a bigger round of applause. Well, allow me to welcome myself as the moderator of that panel. And I am going to call on stage my panelists and under the theme innovation, investment, and impact in Africa. Mr. Baba Sida, you're welcome. A big round of applause. Um, Allow me to welcome Mr. Joel Ashtaja. He's the CEO of Chiltech Hub, Rwanda. Yes, and a bigger round of applause for Mr. Paul John. He is the CEO of Suwebatu. Thank you so much. And I'll start with Mr. Paul. Okay, so okay that. And my question to you is, what problem in Africa do you believe innovation must solve most urgently? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think in the spirit of cybersecurity, that should say cybersecurity questions, okay, problems. And maybe I should just quickly say this, that some of the questions that were raised here, they were fantastic. We know how you figure things out, how you start to you start to get questions. Like, hey, what's the name? What's the name? And in the same thing, I need to choose a name from here. I love what is name. And fantastic question, and I was just have this side how Joel, it's nice to get some of this. And to quickly point out, sorry for to also quickly point out that the project hackathon was like 3 weeks or 2 weeks of work. And we can all agree that it takes a lot of time to build the software that actually works, right? So we can classify it as a project. So, but all that we can address that. So we have to find an innovative way of solving African problem. Um, let me just let me ask you. So in Kigali, imagine bringing someone from, I don't want to use the word foreigner, but let's use it. No, here I hear a lot of people saying Mozambique, I don't know what I think that means like foreigner. So this idea that we need some external party to solve our unique problem is difficult. Because I live in Sweden, so I have my own company doing. It's my very difficult for a Swedish cyber expert to know the nuances in Nigeria, specifically in Lagos, and develop a solution that can handle social engineering problems. And that young man raised an important question. Of course, you know how we technical people can fix all problems. Sorry to pause the problem. No, when it comes to social engineering, you can only try the best. And we need, as Africa, as someone that is in Rwanda, you need to know the nuances. You need to be aware of those nuances. How can we, what are the tricks that you use in compromising systems? Because social engineering still counts as over 90% of how systems are compromised. And I know Joel in his video did mention that human are the weakest link, but at the same time they're also related as. And how do you turn that weakness into an asset? It's by educate, right? And how can someone from Sweden, I can pretend that I don't what of this I'm talking about, or how do I come here in Rwanda and lecture you on some of the social ones? No. So instead we have to find a creative way of how in Rwanda, in Uganda, best defend their infrastructure, best defend their cyberspace. So one of those innovative way that I believe me and my partner, Robert today, the co-founder of Just Unsecure, says, okay, let's throw this thing open. Let's not pretend that we are cybersecurity experts. Let's get all African countries on board and let them begin to suggest and bring fantastic ideas of how they can defend their continent, or defend their cities, or defend their country. What we just need to do is to give them a platform to do that. And that's one of the things. You end up, I mean, the question you raised today, I have to quickly start to do statistic research immediately. I was like, okay, we have over 40%. I don't put my statistics right now. Over 40%, they are still using Infinix phone, they are still using Nokia phone, that are using Kai OS, that is not neither Android or iOS, right? So, and I see them on Puya, right? Where they put their phone like that, and they are not smart. So, how can we, the solution that David designed, the same as design, cater for low-ended smart, but that's smart in a way, right? They still have WhatsApp. But most people that are getting compromised are probably the ones using those, come up with innovative ways of resolving that. There's still a lot of people that are using that. And maybe that is what we have to open for you if I can say, let's see, how can we even solve that problem? Sorry, it's enough. Sure.
Thank you so much. My next question is from Ms. Howell, and it was, what role does technology play in driving real change in Africa?
There is a lot. And the whole view I don't think there is anyone here who thinks it's solution for the topic. So, and sometimes the like if, maybe my own problem, this thing I was listening years ago, I received good messages from the I'm just worried about small things. So you don't turn around and bring some open AI solution for me. Just want to put on myself. How can you assure me that that's what they're need? So the test is what resolve that. And also, of course, there's the breathing that you put on. We have now, for example, your company, we have data from the job market that are hackers post data. The reality is the market that we are getting is the same market that someone in the US is getting data from. Then they will process it and bring it to us. There's always a saying that I don't know how to take that. I mean, always need time. I trust it. There's a saying that America is Europe regulates you understand. So maybe it's I don't know what's happening there. But that has to change. That has to change. When we see what he was presenting, question he was receiving, it gives you a sense of optimism that indeed we are doing the right thing. And brothers here from their side technology, the infrastructure. Lots of opportunities are there. These global ones and structure. So we need to start. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. We come to questions later, so allow me to quickly ask Mr. Robert Tude question. Do you think Africa is leading or following in global innovation?
I was getting to the most difficult question. It's we're leading in some part and we're failing in others. We can't deny it. Let's call it spade and spade. But why I say we're leading because even Africans in the diaspora are the ones leading. So and the Africans. And Africans in Africa need more opportunities to showcase. I think the showcasing in Africa is what's lacking. I'll give a good example. There have been hackathons. There are hackathons, there are lots of hackathons. Let's not call this. Our hackathon is not the best. But the difference is, where I see is that this hackathon is saying, this product, we're going to see all with market. To actually productify and see, okay, what does the market say? So people like saying, David himself, okay, if this not the first hackathon, I said, okay, all the other hackathons, what finish, they shake hands,
And that's it. So when you ask me the question, are we leading, are we not leading? I said we're leading because we have the next generation that are showcasing that it can do. And I just like what Paul said, the questions you guys are, I'm not going to lie, I was impressed. And I'm also impressed with him because he was answering me back. And that's what we need, the next generation. Fire for fire. That's what we call it. Ask question, there's no, oh, yes, no, 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 no. The next generation wants to show that you are coming to the table, you are bringing your A game to the table. And I think leaders or elders, I think when you say failing, that's where then we, not us, but we elders need to allow the next generation to showcase themselves and push them to the forefront. So from that perspective, I would say we are failing to get the younger ones to push them out, let them to push Africa forward. So yeah, that's why I said we're leading, but we're not yet, but we will.
Thank you so much. We're leading, but we're not yet there, but we will get there. Thank you so much. I'm going to take questions and one more question. And I know you have so many, but let's pass through a question for each speaker. I know there are even questions from the previous dialogues. So raise your hand. Have a question. If not, we're going to stand and ask them ourselves. Yeah.
Feel free to ask any question now.
Just questions that we have enough asked before. Maybe if you want us to refresh on that, we also refresh on it. And the reason why it's important and you today to refresh on it because we're technical team that evaluated this sure, right?
Thank you so much. My question is, most posters after this Capstone project, at the end, and they give the prizes and they give like how predictable are you for the next coming year? Are you going to be active?
This, okay, I feel question. I'm gonna ask us,
Even for you,
even for it, yeah, you can ask if I can't answer them.
yes, for his, uh,
Yeah, you have to do. Okay.
the application, like in terms of security, can be manipulated usefully. I can also hold the same application for the start of the Play Store. So how is it work? And how will it with other manipulations?
So for the first one,
And,
this is
and the last one is a mobile application software. So are you working to do a Windows operating system software or because companies can't be relying on the same operating system, I mean Android operating software. Because it's a big company, they are using might be using Linux, might be using Windows. So how do you evaluate it? Down here, they go for a Windows operating system or like a Windows operating software.
to let you bring both up. That's all those three questions. Okay, I'll answer the first. So the first one, say how predictable, and that's what I said. This is our project. First day with planning, last day with this year we are doing the hackathon. We don't plan to go anywhere. Oh, hey, like I said, we're just talking about we like Rwanda, someone that might will come back here next year. But again, we're talking about so and that's why we're here to see what the cybersecurity space is like from a cybersecurity perspective. What we're going to do again, we're just talking about what we're planning to do prior to this is we go to different African countries promoting the hackathons. Like I said, every year we have an event in new African countries. So last year was Nigeria, this year Rwanda, but then they were going somewhere else, coming to Rwanda. So we can go from them if you want that. So yeah, we have been like, so like we have the future generation was showcasing themselves. That young man that came and take and built something that not just us, that basically it was national people also that this is something they really more invest in as well. So that's why we said, okay, we'll take that with it. I hope I answered your question. And the next one is then goes to have. Goes to have. Remember, okay,
So the part today here is fantastic. That's why we co-founder for Just Unsecure, and they used to be like an NGO before. Well, they are still there with a non-profit, but unfortunately, I happen to be the non-profit. And as he was saying this halfway, so just kidding, are you sure you know what I'm saying? Indeed, the entire thesis of us starting this process and it's going to be one. And truth be told, everything I've discussed also, like that comes from. Because at the end of the day, we're going to give it all of plans, but people have contributed one way or the other. But when it comes to the know to put this together one. So, and that has come from both organizations. So we have agreed to keep doing this, but of course it doesn't have to be like realistic. So I'll do that. Hopefully we'll be doing this. But just to be, correct. Together in the meeting. So there'll be a bit of fun. There'll get to recognize people to help those students. Your question, that's your question. First, when this initiative, I still call it initiative, even though they well dressed as a business person, they can say, and they see themselves, the company rightly so. But like I said, it takes more than 3 weeks, 2 weeks to do the job. So one of the things that the job is critically looking to is this initiative. It's a team with community, and you ask me, I'll say 100%. Because when you are designing a solution, you don't have a silver bullet solution. You develop it in training. If you have a solution that takes up for 5% of the population in the country, so 95 might still be problem, but at least you are taking care of 5%. But if you have one that takes up for 50%, you will get very tired. And their solution gets up for not extremely smartphone, but low end smartphone. But as Enoch has pointed out along that by the way, there is no one that is not smart at all. And that solution will be. Now to come back to your question. The cyber security product is still a product, it's based on. So which means there is always going to be an inherent vulnerability even in that product that we can quickly. And the people things to how many of you heard of the incident of CrowdStrike? CrowdStrike, did you hear the incident of CrowdStrike? CrowdStrike is a very powerful cybersecurity company. They build security appliances. I don't just know that in the CrowdStrike. So it really made way during the summer. And it got bad because so you wouldn't have expected for a company like CrowdStrike who happens to be cybersecurity guy. So yes, there's always going to be an issue with that. And we are not, I don't know if you should think otherwise, we're not aligning David because he's still going to go through incubating period where we're going to vet different angles before the product is hands hold. Now, launching on App Store, I recently launched Open App Store last week. So yeah, I have a very fresh experience on that one. So imitating app, it, it's not as straightforward as that. Like if you are willing to, someone can just clone it is there. You need to do a bit more than that. 2000 verifications in place, they're even counting there. If you have a name, they already exist. You can use it, you need to add some authentic story, then a bunch of, and you do know that when you stop it, those app to the app store, they vet it themselves. It's not that they just get it, say, okay, upload and then you go. No, I have to, for Apple Store, I have to write an annoying email to them to say, guys, I need this product launched before December. If you have anything, compile everything and send it to me. That's because very few about how to manage it. So, yeah, and that doesn't mean that you can get cloned, but there's some level of security that Apple provider gives to make sure that you're able to hit up on that. Then you have a question of like Linux turning into like, is it like a desktop app that you can what operating system. The response to that, like everybody always has a plan, and you forget all the plan, right? So we do have some kind of a roadmap funnel that agency are going to go through. Whichever that is going to be, I think we have to find out whether is it going to be going to mobile or desktop application, then that will be different discussion. But now the initiative, I'm proud of it really for calling it an initiative because I know to do it, you already have a conflict for it. But let's just indulge the initiative is focused, primarily focused over for low intent, non-high department on devices. But then manage that attempt to answer the question.
I am still appreciate for this plan, this summit. In this summit, I have gained that there is a statement you have told us that Africa with any problems and with the any socials. There is another problem. The problems are the food at our temple. Again, those the therefore, in those two sentences that I captured in my mind, there's an African, there's a sense of Pan-African. Therefore, according to this Sunday, and on my own ideas on this session, I can ask you the a type of collaboration you have with those readers or with those who hate a Pan-African in our how you collaborate with them. If there is a collaboration, how it works. That specifically to Rwanda. You have stated that we have unique problems we as Africans. Yeah, already is a big observed and still now. And also here in Rwanda, we have also our unique problems. Some of them they are unique, others they are similar with Africa, as drones in the same country. Yeah. In this program, I want a few clarification. This clarification. How you work with this Pan-Africanism and here in Rwanda, how you work with the nice. Yeah. So again, the questions are really fortunately one that has strategy here. Right? But anyway, yeah, indeed, when you mentioned that we have unique topics, not just saying about problems, but also bringing that and I think that's the whole idea about that. How you tailor, customize a solution to the specific topic. And talking about how we collaborate with Pan African institute, you are a Pan African, I'm a Pan African, there. The fact that still we are sitting here talking about this, that is very collaboration. And we work with different organizations. Mention about Unsecure, umbrella, everything that's under Ministry of Human Bangladesh is directly under that country. And we talked about the cyber hub in the young marketing individuals or elected not only if you have freedom, also to non-conflict with to address the problems that we see we tend to sometimes of things what we do, but at the end of the day, we want simplicity, we want to take the stable, that their there. So, remember, if someone takes your account, takes the money, immediately you have to put it in the immediately you're not going to be taking you out. So, again, it's really narrowing down some of these things that we have to see how the cybersecurity collaborates with because it's key. Because someone in the US, maybe they have some of those already set, right? They're not worried about maybe having put on state. They have maybe the education system is already well. Children are going to be anyway discussed. That's what it is for us. So we don't start to get those into the cybersecurity that is very Hollywood movies of you know, but we bring into people. At the point I learned that this this technology and so like I did so that's all that's all I'm trying to say when I avoid something, not because they are unique, but they just because the impact it has on me. Thank you.
Collaboration. As you know, that since we're in Africa, like any country, even it takes a village to really help. We today we are obviously not doing for us to be able to get this together. It requires a lot of collaboration. So we have like Global Africa, who wants to be the company here to help us put this together. I reached out to Joel and with a lot of apologies for this for informing him late and we lost the location as you can see. Yeah. So it's a better collaboration that's going to be forming. I have NST who happens to be the blog to offer us. I just started to say talk to this, talk to that. The Rwanda embassy in Stockholm uh, gave us who to talk to. We have the ICT chamber who happens to structure everything out for us. We have South Africa. Should I keep going? Because then you can see that collaboration is up. It's the only way that we can move things forward. And we have this time, we can just first right, to close the location in just few hours of play. Okay, this is where we are in the program. And we need to help. And there's no way we can do this without coming together. And that's something that I see the African spirit. We have George, we happen to meet yesterday and we say, covering this location for us, videography, take pictures, and we don't even know if we're going to pay you. And say, yes. Or we're gonna pay you. So something is brewing, something is forming, and I think we together we can take this to the next level. And yeah, I would love to read to somebody to
I think I can't add any more to what he has said. So maybe I will be more like specific for just Unsecure, the company when we say collaboration. The innovation why we even started it was from an African perspective, like to talk to Africans that were in Africa and outside of Africa to kind of collaborate and pointing collaborate, talk to them, hear their views of how they're working from a cybersecurity perspective. If you go to the YouTube channel and you look for just Unsecure, we have different people we interview, talk about the people that live in Estonia, the people that live in America, Canada, and we do sessions with them just so they talk to us about how they're living in the foreign countries. I would say foreign, most of them is their country now. And what they want to pass back or in terms of knowledge, what people that want to get into cybersecurity is to do, what would they have done. So we talk to people, we also talk to people within Africa as well. So it's not just again, we're trying to build a community like you said, like Pan-Africanism is not just people in Africa, it's people all over the world, even people that are not African but are friends of Africa. So let's acknowledge that there are people that want to possibly back to Africa that are not Africans. And we do the interviews, we talk to them. A more practical one is the Legal University, like I said, they actually engage with us to say, look, we want our students to be part of this, and we truly are with all the students coming forward to the hackathon. One of the students actually did health trade, and we are working with them because it's not just people, it's not just the university in one country, from an African perspective, we're doing that. I just been talking to the lady from ICT as well. I told her I'm going to have to work with ICT, the very intelligent you need to be membership, but we're going to talk about data. So to be able to know not just on secure or to realize the point of what we want to do in and Rwanda, but in a bigger vision from an African perspective as well. So Pan-Africanism is really what we're driving here, but again, Pan-Africanism is not just Africa, friends of Africa as well. Thank you. Okay.
How do you call that? We have more collaboration with other entities. So my question is, you have the constant coming and bootcamp, limited competition for Africa. So what do you do for those who didn't like who who didn't they are trying to reach at this level, but they have been participating like putting it one. Do you have formality to like connect them to those posters you have been or that? So another question is yeah. So my question is apart from do you have a cybersecurity hub or a company? Apart from being pen testing, what other services Would you be providing? Because when we are studying chemistry, they give us this. We don't know where to specify. You get it? The one to be like clarify on that. If I'm done with cybersecurity, do I have specified that I have to go and testing or vulnerabilities, like finding vulnerabilities or something like that?
First question is, do we just, do we recognize the winners, ask the other ones the way? No. I'm sure we were discussing this yesterday. So we're like, yeah, that's what it really is open, right? Everybody's able to see, people that participate in the hackathon. So, we have, those panelists, I mean, those judges that you saw, some of them are startup investors. So we feel they are open to them. And I think today also mentioned this, that the platform has, we refresh it every month, where there's a community there that, you can keep constantly learning. And I think the way we have it, structured, and, today we can say the truth is, when you develop a solution, I don't think you should only be limited to the other. You should come up with, and by expecting that by the next 3 months, MIP is probably going to send you an email and say, okay, the Rwanda team is currently looking into the, non-platform. You want to use iOS or not? These things that are typically can. Yeah, yeah. It's, that's for sure. We want to have great, yeah. Like all that are not smart, right? To ideate among yourself and say, okay, yes, this is how can we solve this problem, and just get in touch with the Afrihack team, and then we are done. So we don't really, because there's no way of getting anyone past, people that are people, we're encouraging more people, and so, my expectation is that, this program, this, topic, some of you guys are doing cybersecurity space, fantastic. The one that I'm not even there is so much interested in coming forward. Because I think today I've also mentioned this, the driving force, in this particular within the partnership is that, I think about 2, 3 years ago, particularly 3 years ago, just, pre-COVID and after COVID, there were a lot of people competent leaving Nigeria. I don't want to speak for other African countries, but now I'm talking to Nigerians, but be confident with that. We were good to Canada, US. We come to a point where the bank, we are not the bank resources, and we pay, and try to have no of cyber, because the administration is for the people that defend. So, the level to start with we try. Then it became natural to say, we have left the continent. I must have left the continent for 7 years. That's why I would go back 2 years ago to Nigeria to start things. So you can't put anyone interested in Africa. Guys, we can't all disappear. And now we don't even have anybody to. So we try that point. So we need to create a plan. And we need to bring everybody on it. Everybody needs to come up with, and the best asset you can have as a country, as a continent, is resource. And I think, President, people, process, and technology, right? And people are, I had an opportunity to speak in some events in Nigeria, and telling them 1 billion Polish people is was worse than one person that knows what to do. We keep saying Africa number, they're very young, very young, 100,000 of Africans that can't even, they don't know they are right to the left. One person that knows what he or she is doing is better than just 100,000. So how do we transform this? How do we make sure, more people are out there? And I think that's why this partnership started. Why simple to your mind? Okay. So I can give it to you. So you can give it to you.
Some say we or say What is that? That doesn't mean that you have a very, for me personally, when you take knowledge, something to yourself, what really, what you without the mind, what to what to do without we take you more or less like a new person into the new, then you grow into one sector and you feel that what you do is just to give you the resources, the, the guidance, the mentorship you can get from me or somebody. Then you yourself, you get to where you really feel.
Right, you have to wait before you choose your career path. I would advise that when you're in university, you try your hands on everything. And then by trying your hands on everything, you yourself will decide where you want to go. I'll give you a very good example for myself. My first year in university, I schooled in the UK, and the lecturer he was writing code in Java. So I wasn't able to compile for like 2 months. I was like, what's going on? My friend came, he worked in Facebook. He works in Facebook. Facebook wasn't around then. He came and I said, guy, I can't compile this thing. I've been trying my best. The guy just came there. Oh, they said, come on here, remove it. Ah. I said, no, this one, the developer is not working. Do you understand? So when you try everything, you will know what is your strength. Then you would have you will try everything. That's the only thing as students I would advise that try the development, the work you have time. If you're doing your 3 year course, 4 year course, try. That's the only thing I can advise for students. Always try. Then by the time you finish with your final year, you are more focused. Then maybe you go and do your master's, much more focused, and maybe PhD and so on and so forth. But I always tell you try everything first and foremost when you're in university, so you know what your strengths are. Yeah, you wanted to ask.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. My name is Yan Zajanagul. So I want to ask Mr. Paul, what has changed did you meet at the beginning of your journey until you construct stronger tools like that, what I have listened? And what things can you tell someone who have not studied IT, but the people are curious for knowing cybersecurity? What is it?
Yeah, thank you so much. My journey has been, I would take that to the number one journey. So I got into IT like about 23 years ago. So it's been now. It's been like almost now. So the big I work in like 9 different countries. That's came with its own challenges, right? So for one thing, just like everyone else, I can stand here now or speak here and sounding very smart, like someone else people with not but I can't. I don't know why why I keep referring back to join keynote because I don't know if some of you really pay attention to it. And one of the things is said at the beginning of the keynote is that you always have to look at yourself as a learner and you just have to. And that is how I always approach everything. I resigned from my work, from my corporate work as a director like 2 years ago. I carried my bag and they said I'm going to relocate back to Africa, to Nigeria. I don't recommend it. Uh, but it's good, but you just need to be extremely brave. So one thing I can tell you is this, you don't take yourself too seriously. And that doesn't mean that you're not putting in the work. And don't be too arrogant to ask for help. To ask someone around you and say, okay, what is going on? And even though I've been into the IT space for like 20 something years, I'm still learning everything. But it's a little bit and you so you have that. And you raised a important question. I was just asking with like, how come nobody is asking how to get into the IT space? So let's quickly break of course, you just had today say like you was trying to compare with Java and couldn't. That doesn't mean that today we have several chief information security officers, very very important organization, right? So this means that you need to be a developer, you need to be coder, you need to be this before you come to the IT space. It's a fallacy. And you know, also said, which is what I said. I think we should. I hope we have a recording for the keynote, because I think you should listen to that because one of the things he said is keynote. Sorry, I'm still the line. So one of the things he said in his keynote is that it is the cyber security space is very vast. It's very vast. A lawyer, if you're a lawyer, you can find yourself in security space. How? Because you will do reports, right? If you are a statistician, you might find yourself in threat intelligence, where you're crunching data of how many people are trying to attack RDP in 5 seconds. You find yourself doing that, right? So if you're doing GRC, which is governance, risk, and compliance, you are not coding, but you are still practicing security because security is not just you developing and writing reports, code, and using all these fancy words. Security starts from you telling somebody that when you get these messages, maybe you shouldn't press the link. That's that's it. So different facets of different disciplines, you are able to come into the space, right? And as you heard, sorry, I can't remember that name. Then I have to practice the lesson. As you heard, it can be overwhelmed. IT in general is overwhelmed. If you are just coming to it, it's very, very overwhelming because there's information security and your head is just spinning. How do you approach a complex problem? You approach a complex problem by one thing. Do you want to come into the cybersecurity space? Why don't you just picking a Udemy course or some kind of, how to become IT cybersecurity and just read it. And from there you start to learn to develop. Something is constant when you don't be afraid of coming into a discipline. You just need to have endurance for it. Sometimes I don't know if this happens to you, Joe. Sometimes I'm working on an IT because I still think sometimes I'm working on the problem, so confused. If you ask me 20 years in your life, so confused. And I'll put it towel in the head and just bob my head like that, and I'll just be shaking. But the thing is, everything, and that's something consistent. Atomic changes, every day gets better, every day gets better. So my dear brother, come into the space, we don't have a choice. Yes, scarcity of resources that can actually defend our continent. We are not enough. We are not enough. I mean, I'm always thinking about Nigeria because that's one I have authority. Banks, financial institutions, even if it happens here, taking each other's resources. When GT takes this one, resources, credit comes up. The resources, so we just recite, and we can see we have a lot of vibrant youth and so let's rise up to the occasion. Thank you.
Thank you.
big level from the family. After we take a good photo with them, we back and then if someone who wants to use it will ask more questions. Please use that time very well. Allow me to spend my time. Um,
Sorry, sorry, just we take
so there's available people. Yeah, so this is how we're going to take a photo. So everyone takes a thing. Small ones like me to stand somewhere else and then to take a photo. The first one with the photo first and then everyone else. Camera.
like policy, so there's like get up. So we're gonna take a look at it.
That's where
Nice spot. Yeah, present. Sure. Hopefully that to be someone that the money will be more. ICT is like, yeah, I want to know that, right? You can't catch this. You can't catch it. Don't worry, ICT is good. That's all I have to do. That's all I have to do for today. Please come forward. Thanks everybody. Hello. Emmanuel. The people who are come, so, so, okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Some content person. Oh, people, just run on the top, on the top.
Ready?
One is so corporate. Yeah. No.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
And then, maybe, then to this day, so that will allow us to come. Yes, then you get to appreciate from Rwanda. When we appreciate you, then, I just want to say, I think that is taking money, I think some money transfer. Appreciate it,
So much. I'm very amazing. I'm a security operation analyst at RSC. And we're so honored to have opportunity and a very friend so young and I mean story. But I'll buy you a song for that story. So this is what so made was a really a good session. And the partnership of Africa is bringing to Rwanda and the marketplace and exposing what is happening to Rwanda. This is talk all into our heads and especially asking the cyberspace is really a good way. Please give it up for them. The people for them. I heard this presentation and I was like, almost like grabbing the microphone and telling you here right what you're saying because it's the same scenario. And again, advocating for the poor areas, we're having a lot of problems, pushing at times, mostly the public and you know what's going on with it. So really, really appreciate them. We appreciate you so much. And we would love to have more presentations like this from Rwanda. to talk to the world, and the Africa has community is also a platform for all of you. I love the way you all take time to ask questions and also be involved. Very for really, it really speaks volumes to us coming to Rwanda for all for all countries, and you guys in Rwanda is and we also thank the for the partnership, and we look forward to more bigger things, and let's see how we will go to also our universities advocating for this platform so that we have more to see for Rwanda. As per you don't know that we have a big team of CTS in Rwanda that we want the 10 players as the guys in Dubai, which is really so the cyberspace in Rwanda is let's say low key but we're progressing. So we're very honored for everyone who participated, for your precious time. People have gone through a lot of things, but here. And we all started by attending this to be analysts in the cybersecurity. So I had questions, people saying about like how can I go from next place to rating everything. And it's a matter of you learning everything like they say you have to be a learner in the stage. So allow me to appreciate them big time and I hope that it is run again and we have more of this. Thank you so much.
You will say something?
Um,
We should just give you a final remark, and then I will stop. Yeah, if I can go first. Don't feel anything. Fine. Yeah, so we appreciate, one of our contributors, I know the coalition is going to say more about, but, the co-founders. In your page, you give a flow out, because I'm in Africa. There's an African flow out that says if you want to go fast, people by yourself, but if you want to go far, people include, right? And, like I said, we wouldn't have been able to, no matter how small you think it is, there's nothing that's small than anything was there more than 2 weeks. Think about it. And that was only possible with, I speak German, yeah, I do. And you get a shout. They really step up to the challenge. Good enough. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Northern Africa, I was Northern Africa, please, and you really look at because with Northern Africa, because I've been asked to discuss with them, and they came to just helping out for the past 2, 3 months. So it's a lot of work. So we have to really excellent work. And we have South Africa, that also something helpful. Like you say, these are sponsors, these are people that really vision and they're able to contribute to just Joy just right. So I know Joy is not here, but please give it up for prayer. Okay. Amazing. And of course my dear friend that has been here and there. So about to be the house. You don't believe that we was met yesterday and you understood the assignment and was ready to do it for us. So thank you so much. Yeah, maybe I should hand it back to you.
sure, you finishes everything, then I just finish as well. So that's good. That's how we're a team. Once you're a team, work together, do each other's thoughts already. So that's why we collaborate. That's why we collaborate in everything we do. Again, I just want to say thank you all. If you want to reach out to us, we're still going to be around for the next 30 minutes, 30 minutes if you come and have a one-on-one with us and we'll talk to you really. From our deepest hearts, I want to say thank you for coming. Please give a round of applause for yourself. So thank you. I will not say anything more than that. Look forward to next year. This time, if we have the names and your year, we'll definitely keep you updated on what is happening. So that next time we're doing an hackathon, details, depending on what we decide, you will be aware and you will participate. So it looks like you guys will be the place to come tonight. Looks like. Thank you all. I appreciate it.
So much. Enjoy yourself, connect, and thank you for being here.
Let's go. Relax. What is okay? Yeah, just relax. Hold on. You guys just give us 2 more minutes and we might have some great news for you, but great news. 2 minutes. There might be great news. Might be.